Hey guys, it's your girl Victoria back to you with another review for Married at First Sight season 15, episode 10 called Moody Monthiversaries. Guys, these last 2 hours, I'm just from the beginning of this episode when they were showing what was to come for this episode, I said, I know I'm going to be annoyed. I know I'm going to be annoyed. And since we're at episode 10, I feel like this is like the halfway mark of the season. And it just goes downhill from here. And my interest in this season. That's every season. Through the halfway. It's almost somebody from every couple pissed me off this episode. Literally. Well, with the exception of Lindy and Miguel, because we didn't really see them too much. So, but she said some things that didn't sit right with me a little bit. There's nowhere to start but the beginning, I guess. So, they do the little snippets of what people doing, and we have Miguel. He's making Lindy breakfast. Justin and Newton cuddling in the bed, and they left no room for Alexis at all whatsoever. Nate and Stasha, they're pillow talking. Mitch and Kristen, they're chilling out in bed. We don't see Ben and Morgan because Morgan is upset for the rest of eternity at Ben. And we're going to find out later. We're not going to be talking about her right now. So, first major scene we have is Kristen sitting with her friend Zoe doing arts and crafts, candle making as they talk about Kristen's marriage. So, for the most part, Kristen thinks that the marriage is good, but doesn't necessarily think that Mitch is a good match for her. So, of course, Zoe, being a good friend, of course, to Kristen, says that Kristen just needs to find someone who loves her for her. And at the end of the day, she just wants Kristen to be happy because Kristen was talking about she wants her parents' approval of whoever she's with. And Zoe was just like, okay, but at the end of the day, it's about you. It's your life. It's your marriage. So you have to be the one that's happy with it too. So I think that was sound advice for Kristen. Whether she'll take it or not, I don't know. But Kristen, you gotta do what makes you happy. And if being with Mitch is not gonna make you happy in the long run, you need to leave him and go find someone where you can move forward with, and you're gonna be happy for the rest of eternity with all the mistakes that come with being in a marriage and all in relationship and all that. So you got what it takes to make it far with almost anyone. Unlike Morgan's ass, who you accidentally scratch her and she gonna be mad at you for 3 years. Moving on. Speaking of Morgan, she hanging out with her friend Deborah, and she's pissed off that Ben went to Justin to keep talking about her and their relationship, even though she told him not to do it anymore. And sometimes he be talking to Justin, and Justin be having Ben on speakerphone, so of course Alexis be hearing. So Alexis relayed the information back to Morgan. So of course, since Alexis said she gonna believe everything Alexis say, now you're giving Ben a chance to explain himself, because she told him that night, like, oh, Alexis told me everything, by the way. And she just went and dipped. She even let Ben try to chase her. Ben tried to say, Morgan, come back, let's talk about this. And she thinks, that's a guilty conscience or whatever. So then now she's upset that instead of continuing to chase her, that he went to Justin and Alexis' apartment and went to talk to them. So I guess Alexis called Morgan, and then Morgan let Ben have it over the phone. And, she's just very hurt. And then she starts crying her little crocodile tears because, now she thought her and Ben were past their little fiasco from the honeymoon. And now she just really can't trust him. And then Deborah over here getting a little emotional herself that Morgan's going through this. And at this point, we still don't know exactly what it is that got Morgan this upset and heated. But seeing how she was acting just from him telling Justin that she didn't finish all her classes to become a full nurse, I'm pretty sure it's nothing serious. You would have thought the man cheated on her. But no, we'll get to that later when she does her dramatic scene to try to be on one of these Lifetime movies. I swear, Morgan was auditioning for a movie for Lifetime with the way she was acting this episode. So we move on to Justin and his brother Donnell. They go fishing. Justin's pretty much saying marriage is hard and he's just trying to work through it. Nothing we get much from that scene. We move on to Alexis. Her and her friend Jackie sit and talk over drinks. And Alexis makes the little joke, oh, since I'm married now, I don't need a wine. I need tequila. Whatever, Alexis. So she feels like she's been on an emotional roller coaster with Justin, and she feels like she's Victoria. I can never talk. I can never talk. I think I just be so overwhelmed by watching this damn show that it causes me to like not even function correctly because watching this show is unfunctional for the normal human being. But anywho, she feels like she's shutting down and the friend asks if decision day was tomorrow, would you say yes or no? So she said she don't feel comfortable saying yes, and she don't feel comfortable saying no either. Okay, Alexis, we know it's a no, but you gonna be dramatic just to be dramatic for the TV show. So we move on to Stasia. No, it's not Stasia. Stasha, and she's doing some baking stuff with her mom, Stacy, and pretty much, of course, they're talking about her marriage and relationship with Nate. Stasha gets emotional again because she just wants Nate to love her. The mom looking at her like, girl, it's only been a month. It's only been 30 days. Thank you, Stacy, for having some sense. She tried to speak sense into her daughter, but Stasha wasn't taking nothing her mama was trying to tell her. So pretty much she's just still going like, I need to have that security. She didn't say this word for her. I'm just about to paraphrase. For forewarning, I'm going to paraphrase, okay? Because I don't got time to be writing down everything they say word for word. So pretty much, Stasha feels like I need to have that security that he loves me so then we can move forward because, it's already hard enough for me to trust people and, you got to earn the trust. So for me feeling like he don't even love me and he, how are we supposed to move forward? The mom looking at her like, are you serious? Like, why? Where's all this coming from? So once again, that's when she goes into talking about the trust. She don't be trusting nobody, and that's just the way I wouldn't even say raised, but that's how she felt growing up. That she couldn't really trust people because every time she tries to give someone their trust, they let her down. So of course, the mom gets emotional in the confessional, saying, she feels like she's part of the reason why Stasha has trust issues, and you shouldn't think of it as I'm not gonna, or she made a very good way of putting it. Like, I'm gonna trust you until you give me a reason not to, as opposed to the way Stasha's looking at it as, oh, I'm not gonna trust you until you give me a reason to type of thing. So, yes, thank you, Stacy, for trying to make some sense of the way your daughter's so emotionally broken and trying to speak some truth into your daughter, but she's still not going to take what you said because she's still crying her crocodile tears. Well, actually, it was Morgan who was crying crocodile tears. Stasha's just, little dabbing at her little corners of her eyes so she don't ruin her makeup. But Stasha, just give it time because Nate going to tell you in a couple of days that he fall in love with you just so you could stop crying and keep asking him questions about love. Okay, so we move on. Stasha impatient. That's all it is. We move on. We get to 30 days, guys. They've been married for 1 month. Wow, it feels like 5 years at this point. But everyone's happy. They do their little video diaries of being 1 month married. And we get to Morgan's ass. Morgan is just so draining. Whenever I see her on the TV, I'm like, oh my gosh. Even seeing her on the previews for next week, I'm just like, we still got to deal with them. I thought she was going to ask for a divorce the way she was acting this episode. But we're going to see her next week, because producers don't like us. And she says she don't even want to see Ben. Then don't see him, Morgan, because we don't want to see you. Just leave. Okay? You're so upset. You're so traumatized and stuff by Ben lying to your face every day. Anyway, we move on to Stasha. So I guess Nate want a dog. So Stasha said, why not babysit Luna while Kristen and Mitch are away on their little weekend getaway? and get some practice in. So she goes there, says hi to Luna. Uh, Kristen shows her how to clean Luna's rolls on her face and the itinerary of a regular day with Luna, what time you got to get up to walk her, make sure she pees and poops outside, feeding, all that stuff. She has it all written down hour for hour for the whole day. So Stasha gets a little freaked out about that, but Stasha, you'll do fine. This is practice for kids too, a little bit. Kind of, not really, but a little bit at the same time. We move on to Mitch and Kristen. They go on their little retreat cabin thing, majigger, and they do yoga. Now, it would have been okay scene, whatnot, but of course, with any regular scene, they got to do something quirky out of the blue to make us talk about it. So that's why we talking about it. So what was the thing that was out of the blue that happens during this yoga session? Mitch, very vocal, want to talk about Luna being loud and stuff, snoring stuff, but this guy can't even do quiet yoga, being like, yeah, that's the spot right there. Oh, yeah, like, Mitch, really? Kristen can't even do her yoga because she's too busy laughing at your ass because she don't know what else to do. And the yoga instructor is just like, yeah, I never really had people be so vocal and expressive like this during yoga, my usual yoga sessions. But I'm just gonna smile through it on since I'm on camera. Anyway, they do talk a little bit, but I didn't write none of that because it was nothing meaningful to write. They just discuss a few things and they seem like they're getting on the same page. Okay, we move on to Lindy and Miguel. They go on a boat ride. Miguel talking about they're gonna lose their boat virginity because they're gonna have sex on the boat, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen. Miguel is wearing the same shirt that he wore the night that all the men wore the same T-shirt before Mitch switched it to his long sleeve black shirt because he doesn't want to be controlled by having someone else choose his outfit. So they go on the boat ride. It seems like it goes well. And they do talk a little bit on the boat and during their little confessional together. And Miguel's like, well, I've seen the worst of Lindy, and I think he was going to say it's not that bad, they can move forward. But then here it goes, Lindy laughing like, the worst? That's not even close to the worst. Miguel's like, it's not? I don't know. I'm kind of scared now. Miguel, I'm scared too. I mean, that might have just been an appetizer of how she is, when she gets to that point. So I don't think that was her worst either. I mean, at least she admitted to it, but God bless you, Miguel. God bless, because I'm gonna be praying for you. Because that's not even an inkling to her worst. I don't think I would want to see her worst. Because I'm gonna talk about it. But we move on to Nate and Stasha. They go to the lawyer's office so Nate can sign the post-nup because Stasha was not playing. Listen, 30 days was already a long time, but we're going to get it done. We're going to get her done. They signed all paperwork. They zoomed in on the papers a little bit so we could see that he's putting his initial here, there, and here. And he sure enough did it. And because he did it, Stasha's so happy. And it gives her more trust in Nate. And I'm just like, Stasha, is this what you've been so angsty about? He signed it, so now what? So now it seems like they're going to be on the up and up because he signed it. And wait, there's going to be more, but we'll get to that later when he finally confesses his falling in love feelings for her and that his percentage or number went up versus on a scale of 1 to 10 of how much he loves Stasha. Okay, yeah. Whatever you say next. Sure. Yeah. Moving on to Mitch and Kristen. On their little getaway retreat, they get a basket of the things for their wedding. So they look at the pictures and read the vows. And after reading the vows, Mitch does admit that he could have done a better job at committing to his vows and being a husband for Kristen. And at the end of the day, they both agree that they have no regrets. But Mitch, I can appreciate your self-reflection and realizing that you're not as good as you say you are. You admit that you can be a little bit of a Kevin, male version of a Karen, and I can appreciate that that's how you feel and that you realize you're not so fine and dandy. And you realize it's not no easy breezy lemon squeezy. So good job, Mitch, but it's one thing to realize you could do better, and it's another thing to actually do better. So I hope that you actually do better, but we'll find out in the next coming weeks. We move on. Lindy Miguel. I'm just fast forwarding because the big scene for me is Morgan, because I have a lot to say, because Morgan just, we'll get to that point. But anyway, Lindy and Miguel, they sit on the couch and talk. That's where most of their scenes are for this season, I'm noticing. And Lindy saying she's been less anxious since meeting Miguel, and she don't be biting her nails like she was, I guess, at the beginning of their marriage. And Miguel needs to keep accepting her and making her feel secure. It's all about, he needs to keep doing this for me, needs for me, for me, for me, for me. But what are you doing for him, Lindy, other than providing sex? Please let us know. Because it's all about what you need, but we're not talking about what he needs. Because he's already doing a lot for you, putting you on his insurance and all that stuff. And you're not even giving him your last name, or not even taking his last name, because your last name is your identity. It's all about you, Lindy. That's what I'm noticing. And okay. Anyway, they talking, and then they get the basket, of course, for their 1 month anniversary. They look through the pictures and read the vows. But while looking through the pictures, Lindy was playfully critiquing the photos, but under all that playfulness, I feel like she really just like to critique things. She also did say she's an overthinker since day one. So this is that coming to creeping in a little bit. So Miguel's kind of looking at her like, what is there to critique? I thought that was a nice picture. She's like, yeah, but look at the way I'm kissing you. It's just, Lindy, calm down. The pictures look fine. The pictures look great. You just overthinking it too much. She's one of those type of people who probably got 500 photos of the same photo, and they could all look the exact damn same, but she gonna find something differently wrong in each photo. And even the best photo of the 500 photos, even though it's the same photo, she gonna be like, I'm gonna use this as my profile picture, but I still don't really like it. I'm gonna maybe do some filter on it, but it's still not nice. And it's like, Lindy, these people know you. I think they could care less if it's like one hair is out of place like this. Calm down. Anywho, they read their vows to each other, like I said. It seems like to go well. And we move on to who? Morgan. She goes to Muay Thai, and she's just pissed off. She's telling us that her and Ben are not good anymore. Morgan, you and Ben never been good. The way you are, you and Ben have never been good since he lied. No, not lied to you, because you lied to him technically, but ever since he broke your trust by talking to Justin. So I guess they're meeting up the next day at the place where they got married, and she's doing all this Muay Thai, just being pissed off and just walking aggressively throughout the whole damn episode, no matter what she's wearing and dressed in. Morgan, you need to go to therapy. You don't need to come on a show that's called Married at First Sight. You need to go to therapy at first sight, because you need therapy from not even one therapist. I think you need therapy from multiple therapists, from multiple professional help, because the way you was acting this episode, this can't be real. This can't be real. You have to be auditioning, because I refuse to believe this is really your personality. Because I'm just trying to understand how your friends ain't put you in check yet. How your friends, like, forbid you to come on this show knowing the way you are. Like, I just refuse to believe. I really think this is for the TV show, and this is to get a hirement to be employed with some type of movie on Lifetime Network, because you are ridiculous. I thought Alyssa was bad. Alyssa was just delusional, okay? She was nice to people. I won't discredit her for that, except for Chris, of course. But you, Morgan, you blow Alyssa through the roof. Anyway, moving on, we get Luna. Nate is filming Luna for like 2 seconds, and Luna, here she go again, humping her bed, just going to town. I think she finishes because she kind of does a little, she kind of does a little trembling action. I'm like, Luna, did we just watch the whole thing? Because did you just finish? I don't know, but I was just okay. Okay, because then after she finished doing what she had to do on the bed, here she go dragging her butt on the carpet and then sniffing the carpet where she dragged her butt. I'm like, Luna, Nate, why you recorded this? I mean, it was cute and funny to watch at the same time, but I'm just like, why? I can't see this because even with my little son Diesel, okay, my little dog, when he be trying to grind into her, I'm like, get up, get up. We're not doing this. Not in front of your mama. You may do this when I'm not home and when you doing okay when I'm not okay, but when I'm here and I see you and you see me, get up. We're not doing this. No, no, not on my carpet. Okay, you know how much I paid for that thing at Ashley Furniture? No, get up. So anywho, that was a little cute snippet, whatnot. We get to Alexis and Justin. They're doing arts and crafts. They're scrapbooking a love book about them. Okay, maybe the producers told him to do that because I'm like, I don't think Alexis would want to do that, knowing how she probably just wants to be in and out just to be here for the TV show and for the check, maybe. I don't know, but that's just the vibe she's giving me. And Justin feels like his time is almost up and he doesn't know if he can make it work by the time the end of the 8 weeks come. So I guess Alexis, to be encouraging, says, oh, there's still time to make it work. And then in the same breath, she says to the confessional that if they weren't married, she would have already been left. Alexis, we know. You don't have to keep telling us this. We know you would have been left since day one. Since when you seen him, you would have been on to the next. We know that, Alexis. You don't got to keep telling us. We don't care because we know you're going to leave by decision day anyway. So we're just watching this for play at this point. So I guess he kind of smiles a little bit after her little encouraging words. And what she said? Having a husband is what's keeping her here because at the end of the day, she wants love and that's what she came on the show for. Okay, Alexis. You can tell us all you want about what you came here for, but we don't believe you. We already see through your words. We see that you're here just to fulfill your contractual agreement. We see that once decision day comes, you're going to say you can't do this no more. Or if you do say yes, it's maybe for a bonus check that y'all going to receive from being on this show and saying yes on decision day. But post decision day, you're not going to be with him by the time the reunion comes around. So Alexis, we already see through all that. So anything you saying, really, we're just like, okay, whatever is going through one ear out the other. We're just letting it be and we're just moving forward. So we're going to move on. There's nothing else to say about them until probably the end of this episode. So we get to Stasha and Nate. They have a lunch picnic thing, and here goes Stasha immediately coming with questions in regards to Nate and his feelings. And I'm just like, why can't we just have a regular dinner and we just talking about random Joe Schmo type things? But of course, Stasha, she's trying to get everything done within these 8 weeks. She probably want to be pregnant by the time decision day come. Let her tell it. But excuse me. Nate just tells her that she kind of hurt his feelings a little bit about not appreciating him for what he's trying to do to show her that he's trustworthy and that he can grow for his feelings. And she was acting a bit of an asshole. She was like, oh, you're calling your wife an asshole? He was like, yes, I am. At least he owned up to it, Stasha. You can't be mad at that. I mean, you were just acting very, very emotional and very controlling and, like you said, manipulative last week. Stasha, come on, you should hopefully know how you acting, and I hope you're telling your therapist how you've been acting too. And we'll see what she says. Let us know what she says, please. But anywho, he can tell that she was being closed off because of her trust issues, but I guess going through everything, he does have more trust for her now, and he once again expresses that he's falling in love with her. I don't know if he said falling or fall in, but one of those things, in love with her. So she's like, what, really? So where are you on the spectrum now from 1 to 10? Nate, you should have known saying that was going to make her come with Cause Stasha she just always have questions. She got like 50 questions already ready for you with every outing or conversation y'all have. I mean, remember, she did say she was a person that's gonna ask you for your credit score on the first night of dating, on the first date. So it wouldn't be me, but okay, Alexis, not Alexis, but Stasha. Sorry, Stasha. So she asks him, and he says he's now on a 7/8. She's so happy. She's all smiles, and then they start making out. I'm just like, he lying. He probably just saying that so she could just stop talking and stop asking him about his love crap. But I'm just like, oh, so in a few days you went from a 4 to 8, and we didn't see nothing that transpired of her being like, oh, I love you. Because she has yet to say it. She wants him to tell her that he loves her so damn much, but she has yet to even say, I'm falling in love with you or I love you. I mean, she did say she's a 8 out of 10. But until you say I love you, Stasha, I'm not going to believe nothing you say. So we move on to Ben. This is where I feel like the climax of the episode happens. I'm surprised they did it. They didn't wait till 9:59 to say this. But Ben's waiting at the altar with some flowers, and he hasn't spoke to Morgan since that whole thing she cussed him out on Alexa's phone. And he's just waiting for her. Hopefully they can still have a good day and move forward. So she comes in with her aggressive macho walks up to him with the attitude on her face. He tries to give her the flowers and says, oh, be careful because of the thorns and stuff, trying to be so sweet. And she just lets the flowers drop. She's like, oh, thanks, and just lets it drop. I'm like, Morgan, you don't got to be that rude. You could have just placed it on the table that was like not too far or whatever. Or just be like, no, you can actually hold it because I don't want it. But no, she just lets it drop. And this is where she proceeds to go off on Ben because she's asking him. She reminds me, I'm not even going to say the person because I'm not trying to put them on blast like that. But there's a person I know who will ask you a question. And then before you can even ask any question, comes out with something else. Okay, you have any questions? And then proceeds to be like, because of this, and it's like, you just asked me a question. I can't even respond before you say something else. You didn't even give me 2 seconds to respond before you said anything. So this is exactly what Morgan did. She just went on a rant. This is her monologue. This is her showcasing scene performance that, the recruiters of Lifetime movies are going to be watching to see if she can really play the part of the lead actress of their next original film. So she goes off on a tangent about he been lying to her since day one because she always be asking him after every group outing, especially when the girls and the guys are separate, what the guys done talked about. And supposedly from her, he told her that they be talking about the relationships, but out of respect for her and their marriage, he don't be saying nothing because of that. Now, it didn't seem like he denied it. So if that's the case, Ben, I don't know why you doing all that. You could have just been like, yeah, we talked a little bit, but I didn't say nothing much. And in this case, Morgan, are you admitting to him that you be talking about your relationship? Because she's upset that he done told Justin and he be having his phone on speaker and Alexis be hearing it. Alexis, I don't know what you done told Morgan, but I don't know why you would. Because if you know Ben's confiding to Justin, why are you going back to Morgan to say what is... Like everybody's been saying on Twitter. Yes, I do feel like Alexis was a little bit messy in that aspect. Now, excuse me, once again, I'm sorry. Now, in the case, if Ben really was saying something foul about Morgan and Alexis felt compelled to tell Morgan, then I would understand. But from what I'm hearing from this whole scene, it doesn't seem like there's anything particular that Ben said about Morgan that was enough to be like, oh, Ben talking about you. Because you be talking to everybody, Alexis, about Justin. You be telling everybody about Justin's personal things that I feel like would be more of a reason for Justin to be looking at you sideways than for Morgan to be looking at Ben sideways. So this whole thing, it just seems so stupid. Ben, please just don't talk to Justin no more, because Justin not gonna care about your privacy and putting you, talking to you over the phone. and because he be putting you on speaker, and here go Alexis, she got to be messy in every way, shape, form to tell everybody's business. So then please just keep things to yourself. If you want to talk to somebody, talk to your family at this point, because they're the only ones that really gonna have your back. We see, please, Justin, because if you make Morgan talk to you and try to, because the way she talked to him was just so demeaning, like he was a little kid, and Ben just gonna eat that shit up. Like, I just don't understand, Ben. Don't let her talk to you like that. Cause the way she was talking to him is like he was a little kid and he was like cowering underneath her. I mean, he's taller than her, I feel like, but just cowering, and people was making fun of his little foaming lips. Listen, I mean, they were foaming. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I be getting a little foam here too. I mean, not to that point though. Let me not even put myself out there because I'm not trying to have people come for me. But I do know sometimes if you talk a little bit, a lot, and your mouth is dry, sometimes a line does form, but never it formed to the point where it was looking like it was foaming and stuff. So producers, y'all foul for that, for showing all that, because he wasn't even talking, so you didn't even have to show his face like that. But okay. Um, then she's like, you be talking to everybody about our personal business, and I don't be talking to nobody about our personal business. So then he's like, yes, you do. You talk to Lindy about it. She's like, no, I never texted Lindy. You can look at I never texted her. So Morgan, you never talked about you talked to every fucking body about your relationship. We have video evidence of you talking to Lindy and Stasha, that like when you guys were still on the honeymoon, I believe, about Ben effing up and telling everybody that you're not a nurse, even though you are a nurse. You just have one more class to finish, but you failed to tell them that you initially lied about it in the beginning, in the first place. So yes, you do be talking to people about your relationship, Morgan. So you lying about that. Now, listen, Ben not as petty as I am, because I would just be like, well, you want to talk about I be telling people stuff, but you be telling people stuff too. No, I never texted her, but you talk about it. And I'd be like, producers, run back the clip. Even though they probably not going to do it, but we see it, Morgan. I'm surprised no one else mentioned it on Twitter, but I'm like, but Morgan, you be talking to everybody else. There's video evidence of you talking to everybody else about your issues with Ben, but he's not allowed to talk to nobody about nothing about y'all relationship. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, Morgan. You don't make no type of sense. Listen, Ben, I don't know why you acting so sad like you about to cry, because F her at this point. F her. She talking about she's over it, she's done, and she's going home. She walks away in her little macho walk. So then it goes to commercial for dramatic effect. Comes back from commercial for dramatic effect, and the producer goes over to talk to Morgan. Here goes Morgan crying her little crocodile tears. Ben goes after her and asks her to talk. And Morgan's like, she don't want to talk until he owns up to his shit. And I'm like, Morgan, are you going to own up to your shit, though? Because you're being hella dramatic. You're being way over the top. You being trying to get Oscars or Emmys over the top since this is a TV show. Or is that Tony? I don't know. Something. Not going to be an Oscar because those are movies. Emmy or Tony. One of those two. I think it's an Emmy. Like, you doing the absolute most. So, I guess Ben said he gonna do it. So they go to the table to sit down and talk. And Morgan is just giving Ben daggers. Like, she looked like those little kids on those scary movies where there's no whites in their eyes. It's just all black. That's what she looked like when she was looking at him. I'm like, the devil's a lie, Morgan. The devil's a lie. I know. Ben, you should have just walked away at that point because it's over. You trying to be like, is there any way we can reconcile this? For what? What are you trying to reconcile, Ben? Reconcile. I'm sorry, I can't talk. You know this. But if you've been watching me, you know this. I can't never talk. Ever. Especially this late at night. I can't talk. Okay. So please bear with me. I'm sorry. Please bear with me. Ben, let it go. Hang it up, bro. Leave. If you want to stay, just so you don't have to pay extra fees for leaving the experiment early, okay. But don't let her dog you, bro. Don't let her do that. Cause at this point, I don't, Morgan, I don't got. She don't got. She talking about she don't have no more respect for Ben. Morgan, I don't got no more respect for you. You know, I really kind of didn't. I was losing more and more respect for you each and every episode. But after this performance, I'm completely done. Like I'm done. So she goes on a tangent and says she got no respect for homeboy, and he's been talking shit about her. Even though I already said the word, I'm sorry, but she been talking crap. He been talking crap about her. He said no, he hasn't. She's like, yes, he has, but she can't even say what he been talking crap about. She can say all these things that he's just doing her dirty, this and that, be lying to her face every day. But she can't really go into specifics other than the fact that he talked to Justin. But what else is there? Because there's nothing concrete that I'm seeing for you to be acting like this, Morgan. The way you're acting is over the top. The way you're acting makes it seem like you guys been together for like 13 years and homeboy done cheated on you with all the females in your family and all your friends, even the girl that you chipped her tooth. The way you acting is the way your friend should have been acting, the way you chipped her tooth. And I'm gonna keep mentioning that because I think it's absurd that you be having all these faults and all your friends just be giving you another chance, but homeboy be talking to someone about your relationship. Not that it's be talking about your relationship as if no one else can see it on national freaking TV because you on a damn TV show. Oh my gosh. And, everything's all easy breezy. Morgan, she gonna give me a headache. I'm not gonna keep talking about this too much longer. I already talked too much about this damn thing. Anyway, the last thing I want to say about this scene, she says she would have normally walked away in this situation, but she's not going to be doing that because she's married. So she's still going to be showing up every day so he can see how much he's hurt her. And she needs to talk to experts. No, Morgan, you're going to keep showing up because you do not want to pay the fine for leaving the show early. Is you don't want to do all that. So now you're going to want to condemn him to suffrage because you just want to make him pay for talking to Justin, even though you talk to everybody and their mom about your relationship with Ben and how you need to just, you can't trust him. I thought, I'm like, what his mama gonna say when she sees it? His mama gonna cuss you out. Not that you care, but Morgan, you did the most in this episode, and you're gonna still be doing the most in the next episode. I don't know if I'm gonna talk about you like that next episode, but Morgan, you're exhausting. I thought Alyssa was exhausting last season, but you are exhausting. Because I just don't like when people be mad at others for the stupidest reasons and really be giving them a hard time for the stupidest reasons. And I feel so bad for Ben. So then it goes to commercial again for dramatic effect, I believe. Comes back from commercial. We see Ben going to the honeymoon suite to look at the pictures of him and Morgan's wedding and the vows. And he just looks so hurt. And he's saying he feels like he got punched in the face. And he just sniffling. And then the producers asked if he's staying the night. He said no, he's going to leave. And he just leaves. And talks about he wants Morgan to be happy. So through all of this, he's still talking good about Morgan. Why? I don't know. I would have been. Listen, anyone who knows me personally, I am petty. I'm not going to be talking no good. I'm going to be saying the pettiest shit ever. Listen, Ben is better than me. Ben is better. I'm not apologizing for something I didn't do. Why? And he apologized so much at the time. I'm like, for what though? For talking to someone about your relationship, about your experiment that y'all going through, experience, whatever you want to call it, that they're going through the same thing. Justin don't got to know better. I mean, he is emotional. I mean, he's very emotional. But at the same time, that's what you're on the show to do. That's why you have the girls separated from the guys, so everybody could talk about their own relationships. Morgan does it all the time. She want to be delusional, say she don't, she do. I'm not trying to hear none of that. But listen, Ben, you better than me. We get to day 32 of marriage. Stasha and Nate, they go get tattoos of their wedding date on their left hands. It wouldn't be me. 32 days in, I know we married and all that, but no. And Stasha, she just trying to rush everything. She was nervous when they got to the parlor. Nate talking about, oh, you nervous? Well, you're gonna be having a baby soon. Okay, Nate, so you're just gonna give her everything she want because she just wants to do everything like today. Whatever. That's y'all marriage, y'all gonna do what y'all do. And once they finish it, Stasha loves the commitment from Nate that he got tattoos with her. I guess, whatever. So we have everyone to get ready for a group date, except for Morgan and Ben because they're not at the best of terms right now. And we see Nate and Justin have turtlenecks on again. Of course, that's their attire of choice. Stasha looks beautiful. I love her little outfit, her little cute little silky dress, and she looks gorgeous. Lindy and Kristen, they look good too. I'm surprised Mitch dressed up and he didn't wear his little sandals, as everybody keeps talking about. Miguel, he looked okay. I wasn't really too fond of not Stasha, but Alexis's outfit. I didn't really like it, but that's what she gonna wear. That's what she gonna wear. They dance on the way to the restaurant in the little party bus. They get to the restaurant. Everything is decorated nicely. Kristen makes a little. Kristen is so quirky. I love her. She's just like, yeah, this is the type of dinner party I want. And just looking like making her little quirky laughing face. Kristen, all right, whatever. Kristen, you do it, whatever. I would have just been laughing like, Kristen, stop it. But they sit down to talk about the relationships, of course. And Lindy and Miguel, they're doing good. Stasha and Nate, for the most part, they're doing good. Stasha misses a lot of self-reflection on her side, on her end, but they're doing great. Nate says Stasha is his best friend, so everybody's like, oh, that's so cute. He's just trying to make sure he secures his spot in the new house at this point. But we get to Mitch and Kristen, and they ask about their 30 days, but Kristen lets Mitch go first. So he admits that he didn't know if he could be a good husband or whatnot. I guess this gets Kristen riled up because then she goes on a tangent saying, you know, everybody commends Mitch for what he's doing. You say you didn't know if you could be a husband, but I came into this knowing I was already a wife. And, you know, Lindy is one of the main ones that's going to be like, okay, Lindy, let me find out you got some blackness in you. Okay, Lindy. Okay. Anyway, but she goes on a tangent saying no one ever asks about her and what she's been sacrificing and having to compromise that every way, every wit's end, all that stuff. Mitch is not doing the same for her. And she just feels wanted. I don't know how to say this because I have my notes, but I want to say it the way she said it. She said it in such a great way. But she pretty much just feels like she can't do what she wants to do because she always has to compromise for what the hell Mitch wants, and he not letting her do what she want to do. So then it goes to commercial for dramatic effect, comes back from commercial for dramatic effect, and Kristen just says, you know, if I keep going at this way, I'm just gonna snap. I'm gonna snap. And here goes Alexis. Now, I'm not saying what Alexis said was wrong, but I think it's just because it's coming from Alexis. It annoys me because Alexis herself is annoying me. And she's just like, it's better to lose Mitch than herself. Because she said, if I snap and if I do that, I feel like I'm gonna lose Mitch. Sorry for me, can't talk. I'm so sorry. It's past my bedtime. I need to go sleep. But because she said that, that's why Alexis said, you know, it's better for you to lose Mitch than for you to lose yourself. Thank you, Alexis, so much. Thank you. Anyway, she's just like, yeah, but I apologize, but I just really need to let that out. So then here goes Alexis again. You don't need to apologize. Thank you, Alexis. You have so much to say, but when it comes to you, you don't got nothing to say. You stay over there. So Mitch says, you know, she doesn't need to feel sorry for saying what she said, and He apologized that she feels the way she feels in regards to that aspect, and if she feels like she needs to snap, she can go ahead and snap because he's still gonna be there for her. So Kristen appreciated that, and Justin commends Mitch, but then Alexis gets annoyed with Justin for commending Mitch and says that he has so much to say about everybody else, but he can't be doing nothing to work with their marriage or something. I wasn't really listening to what Alexis had to say. I'm just like, Alexis, please. You be just trying to create conflict. See, this is why Justin feels like you just love when you guys are at riffraff. And she tries to say that's not the case, but Alexis, you just want to be gone. You are just like, dang, you just wish it was somebody else that you was married to. But too bad that's what you wanted, because you wanted the tallest guy. You wanted the tall guy. That was your first and foremost. So you get what you get. Coming on a damn show, letting other people choose for you. You get what you get. Beggars cannot be choosers. So Justin's just like, okay, well, what about you? She said she got nothing to say. So Justin's just like, for someone who was always be having something to say, it's funny that you don't got nothing to say. So she's like, I don't want to say anything. I'd rather just keep silent. She even said in the confessional, for the sake of my husband's sensitivity, I don't want to say nothing. So he keeps egging her on. She don't want to say nothing. Lindy whispering to Miguel like, well, if Tree doesn't eat his dinner, I want to eat it. So then that's when Alexis is like, oh, no, you can eat it, because he's just standing there with a pout on his face. And I would, because I'm petty, I would have pulled what she pulled last week. Oh, so you talking for me now? She wouldn't have liked that. So then she's like, well, since my husband wants me to talk, I'm going to talk. So she says she wishes that Justin was more consistent because he shows inconsistency. She doesn't know what she's going to get each and every day. So then, of course, he gets offended by that. They go back and forth and bicker a little bit. And Alexis talking about she heard about what, I'm not sure. She says something, but I'm just like, at this point, I'm checked out, because I'm just like, y'all not gonna get a resolution anywhere in this scene. I can see that already. But okay, speak your speech, Alexis. Shout out to Miss Misha, because that's what she always says. I don't know. I was drained by this point, so I'm just like, what is this? This is almost over. Let's go. Let's finish this, please. I'm done. So Alexis gets hurt. She cries and whimpers and does her little high-pitched voice talking about she hurt, but she don't really fully cry, because then she gets buck a little bit at the end, and she's just like, she needs a break. She needs a break. And she gets up and leaves. And then Justin gets up and leaves. And then Stasha goes after Alexis and is like, Alexis is like, did I say something wrong? It's just like, I feel like I'm coddling a baby and I'm tired. And then Justin talking outside to the producers and whatnot. And that's where the episode ends. These 2 hours felt like 4 hours. I was so over it by this last scene. I feel like, even though this was not a rushed review, I feel like this review is lackluster, because I was so drained by Morgan, especially, of this episode. Alexis second. None of these couples need to stay together. All these couples need 5 therapists each. I'm done. I'm over it. Hopefully next week is better, but I don't think it will, because Morgan will still be here. She will still be on the show and will still be doing every scene she do. She will be talking about how Ben betrayed her trust and she can't move forward, even though she's gonna stay on the show just so she don't have to cough up some cash for ending the experiment sooner rather than the time they're supposed to end it. I apologize, guys. But I hope you were as annoyed as I was to understand why this review was the way it was. I try to give it my all, though. I be trying to give it my all, but that's all I could give, guys. That's the end of this episode. That's the end of this review. If you like this video, which I hope you still like it after all the debacle we went through for these last 50 minutes, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please comment, especially about Morgan. If you understand anything that she was mad at Ben for, that's that's reasoned or justification for her actions this episode, please let me know in the comments, please. Anyway, other than that, I want to see y'all next week because I gotta go sleep this off. Thank you guys so much. Goodbye.